Levels of formality in vocabulary. 4. Formal vocabulary. English law and compliance. Lawyer Luis Cordoba. 4. Formal vocabulary. Formal vocabulary is used in official, academic, or professional contexts where a high level of respect and seriousness is required. It involves sophisticated language, complex sentence structures, and precise word choice. Characteristics. Advanced vocabulary. Use of precise and often more complex words. Example: commence, begin, assist, help. Complete sentences, avoidance of contractions and colloquialisms. Polished tone, very respectful and polished language, suitable for official documents and formal speeches. Examples: good morning, how do you do? I am writing to inform you of the upcoming changes. Please do not hesitate to contact me should you require further assistance. Positive impacts of using formal vocabulary. Professionalism and credibility. Enhanced professionalism. Formal vocabulary conveys a sense of professionalism, which is particularly important in academic, business, and official communications. Increased credibility. Using formal language can enhance the credibility and authority of the speaker or writer, making the message more convincing and trustworthy. Clarity and precision. Clear communication. Formal vocabulary often includes precise terms that reduce ambiguity, leading to clearer communication. Structured expression. It encourages a structured and logical flow of ideas, making complex information easier to understand. Universal acceptance. Widely understood in professional contexts, formal vocabulary is generally understood and accepted in professional and academic contexts, reducing the risk of misinterpretation. Standardization. It provides a standardized way of communicating, which can be especially important in international or multicultural settings. Negative impacts of using formal vocabulary. Perceived lack of warmth and personality. Impersonal tone. Formal vocabulary can sometimes come across as cold or impersonal, which might not be suitable for building personal relationships or in contexts requiring emotional connection. Stiffness. It can make the communication seem stiff and overly rigid, potentially alienating the audience. Accessibility issues. Complexity. Formal vocabulary can be complex and difficult to understand for those not familiar with it, creating barriers to effective communication, especially with a general or less educated audience. Exclusivity. It can unintentionally exclude or intimidate people who are not comfortable with formal language, making the communication less inclusive. Reduced engagement. Less engaging. Formal language might not be as engaging or interesting, particularly in contexts where a more casual or lively tone is needed to capture the audience's attention. Monotony. Overuse of formal vocabulary can make communication monotonous, reducing its impact and appeal. Inflexibility. Lack of adaptability. Formal vocabulary can be less adaptable to different contexts and situations, limiting its effectiveness in dynamic or informal environments. Slower communication. It can slow down the communication process, as more time may be needed to construct and interpret formal language correctly. Balancing formal vocabulary. To balance the positive and negative impacts of formal vocabulary. Know your audience. Tailor your language to the audience and context. Use formal vocabulary in professional and academic settings, but consider a more relaxed tone for informal or personal interactions. combine formality with clarity. Strive for a balance between formality and clarity. Avoid overly complex terms that might obscure the message, and ensure your communication is accessible. Inject warmth when needed. Even in formal communication, you can show warmth and empathy. Use polite language and respectful tones to maintain a positive and respectful interaction. Be contextually flexible. Adjust your level of formality based on the situation. In dynamic or less formal environments, a mix of formal and informal language might be more effective. By thoughtfully applying formal vocabulary, you can enhance professionalism and clarity while also being mindful of potential drawbacks and adjusting your approach to suit the context and audience. Thank you very much. English Law and Compliance. Lawyer Luis Cordoba.